Gonna check if we're live again? You gonna check if we're live again? Baby, we gonna check if we're live again. Are we live? No, no, no. You do this one. Let me see what we're doing. Sorry, I gotta go to the other game. Hey guys. I think we're live. Oh, Vidbox and imported audio or no? No, just in Vidbox, right? Yeah, okay, good. Okay, good Vidbox. Okay. So let me see if I can make it bigger. Will this change the thingy? Let's see. It does. It does. Ooh. So then can I do this and go a little bit out? No, I can, but maybe I'd have to do like that. Oh no, it's too big now. Okay, let's see if I can do that. Oh no, that's wrong. No, that's wrong. There, that's what I want. And I want this to go like that. And come into here. Oh, I want the fit screen. Let me just see. Transform. Fit the screen. There you go, that fits screen. And then I can just go back to this, which would make this make a different size. No. Whatever, it's kind of small to see, but you know. Might be okay, I don't know. See what it sounds like? Loads. I think this is it. Anyway, if I do this though, and then go back to this, would it pick it up as full screen? Yeah, it is. Damn it. Where is that from? Oh, you see. Wait. Something on the bottom? Dang it. It is. Then I can't do that. Shouldn't do that. Or let me go to this, and then do that, and then go back to this. Does that does something? Like. There we go. I mean, it's you can't really see some of the words like this, but I'll deal with it, I guess. I guess we'll have to just deal with it. Bear with me. Apparently, okay. So I found this game on Steam, and it's basically just. I mean, it's you can't really see some of the words like this, and apparently, like. I found the game on Steam. I was looking at free games, and I found this Revolution game, this Leaf Blower Revolution. I don't know if that's a marijuana leaf or not, but. Or it looks like one, but I don't know. Or a maple. It's supposed to be a maple leaf. I don't know. I think it has enough things for maple leaf. Oh dang, it's loud. It's just a leaf blower. That's all it is. I have to blow leaves around, or do I have to make a pile? I don't know what I do. I just blow leaves. That's it. I blow them off the screen. Wait, let me see if there's a one second. Turn this down, okay, there. And then turn this down. Where is the game? Go back to the game. Like, is there a time limit? Is there many leaves I have left? Oh, there's a time limit, okay. Oh, there's a timer going up. How long it takes me to do what? What do I do? I'm getting points, apparently, for doing this. Oh, I can upgrade? What can I do here? Oh man, it's so hard to see this. I'm sorry, let me just look. It's so hard to see the screen. It's the tiniest text ever. Pushing away leaves with your bars, bare hands. So much fun. I can upgrade to equip. I can buy whatever this is. So small leaf rake. Okay. Oh, I can see what I was doing. I was doing it with my hands. Okay, so now I'm doing it with a small leaf rake. Do I have enough money to buy this one? No. And I can get more points for this now? I'm confused. Oh, and there's also this notification. What's this one? Gold leaves, trees. Trees can drop gold leaves. Maybe I'll buy some of that? I can't. Buy max. Buy. Maybe 10, I don't know what I've done. I'm getting money. I'm apparently getting money from this? Okay, what does this do? Can I change the resolution of this game? Let's see. No. Oh, maybe actually turn it more. Oh, I can do it with the keyboard. I think maybe. No. Nope, apparently Look at all the money I'm getting. And I apparently am getting lots of money if I do this. Oh no, it's a number. I thought it was the number of leaves. Maybe it's not. Have $500 yet? Can't buy that yet. No. Okay. Where's my money count? Is it this? It might be at the top there. It might be this thing at the top here. I'm not sure if that's the amount of money I have. Yeah, it might be. Not sure, but it might be. We'll pick up something. Ooh. Wow, I got a lot of money. Okay, so now I can equip this. Which would be what? Large leaf rake, okay. So I can pick up more leaves quicker or what? I don't even know what this game is. It's just a raking simulator, basically. Not a realistic simulator necessarily, but it's just raking leaves. That's all it is. And you get money for it. Interesting. Spawns one more leaf per tree. Okay. Let's buy max of everything. I can't buy any more of them, right? No. Okay. So what have I done? I don't even know what I just did. Sorry. Leaves drop 1% faster per level. Receive I don't even know what these things are. I'm sorry. There's lots of these things and I don't know what they do. What's this, an achievement? Leaf floor. Yeah, I think up here is telling me how many leaves I've done. Which is, I think, the money would be the same as the equivalent to money. I don't know. I think the reason these are like appealing, these games, why people play these games is the upgradability. If this was just a raking simulator where you can go into the shop, equip stuff, whatever, I think nobody would care. I think nobody would care about these games. But because it's set up like it's build up, level up, grind, get up enough money, get enough money to actually whatever, like, you know, to upgrade and all that. That's where it's like, oh, I can keep playing. Oh, it's great. But there's a lot like cookie clickers and games that are like this, like the app games where it's like they have no real purpose. They just keep going forever. But you get these like, oh, let's upgrade. So I can do it faster. I can do it better. I can do it whatever. Largely for okay, so I need what? 5,000. Oh wow. 5,000. That's a lot. It's 1,000. What did that do? Support pack. Premium pack. Skins pack. Ugh. What's it called? Stupid stuff anyway. So. Nuclear rake. Nuclear fuel. Add nuclear fuel to your tools for a more... More power. Okay, so more power could be this one, but I don't have... I want to save up for the other thing first. See what it is. I think I might need a rake or a blower before I can get nuclear fuel, or before I should look up nuclear fuel. To be honest. I don't know. What to talk about? What to talk about? What to talk about? Street Fighter. I was watching a video on Street Fighter. On well, it was. It was what's his name's video on Street Fighter? What's his name? Oh my gosh. What the heck is his name? What's his name? Ashen's video on Street Fighter. And it was pretty good because it was just about Street Fighter, like, they had a box that was basically Street Fighter themed. So one of those mystery boxes that was Street Fighter themed. So there's so many things that Street Fighter had. Just frig, man. What did it say? Street Fighter was one of those things that just had a lot of. What is crud? Sorry. Sorry, I was checking something. Sorry, yeah. yeah, it's and there's so much that Street Fighter did. It was one of those franchises that was on that was on a lot of things. Now I don't know if they were on everything the same way. Some same way a series like Star Wars, a franchise like Star Wars was on everything, or Pokemon was on everything. But they were on a lot of things from what I heard. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't around when Street Fighter was huge in like the early 90s. And then, or the late, you know. Okay. Okay, Google. When was Street Fighter 2 released?
Street Fighter 2's initial release date is February 1991.
Yeah, see, there you go. So I wasn't around when that came out. When it was popular, big. But I knew about it, so. When I was a kid. Not a young kid, but a kid. You know, like a teenager or whatever. But, like, that's probably clover it is. 3,000. Okay, I can let it go and then build up leaves. Okay, why don't I do that? Let the leaves just fall. There, you see? Let the leaves fall and then just do big jumps, piles. Maybe that's a strategy? I have no idea. But yeah, Street Fighter was just huge. It was huge at one point. Yeah. I don't think it was Star Wars or Pokemon levels of huge, but it was huge. But it was definitely huge. Don't get me wrong, it was huge. It was big. From what I've heard, that wasn't around at the time, it was huge. You can get it on a lot of things. Okay, you showed random things like there were G.I. Joe-like figures that... Street Fighter figures? The best! Oh, because there was... Okay, there was also... There was that, there was like comic books, there were other things. What other ones were there? Postcards. What else was there? There was postcards. I can't think of it. Magazines, postcards, those toys. Of it. Video games, obviously. Other video games on different. So there you go. See, I can do a lot at once. See? Break these leaves away, man. Break them away. Break them away. Anyway. But anyway, it was big. But the best was this Look and Find book. So it's basically Where's Waldo, but specifically for Street Fighter. And I just thought to myself when I'm watching, I'm like, this was popular enough to make a whole Look and Find book on just Street Fighter. Now, not that it was bad. It's a great book. It's just, why? Who thought that it was a good idea in the sense that, like, it was that popular that people would want to look and find book? I don't know. A Where's Waldo style Look and Find book? I don't know. Now, I'm not saying it's bad, and it's like it shouldn't exist, like some of the video games, but like, come on, like, I say like too much. Come on, it's really weird, you know, when someone thought of that up and went, oh yeah. Anyway, it's just strange. It's just one of those series that you just go, there's a lot, and it's on like random things. When it gets onto like things that have nothing to do with like, start to have nothing to do with the original thing, and start to change it just enough to where like now you're changing things to try and appeal to that like medium, then you know that it's gotten like really big, like, you know, or the people just want to make money and it's gotten out of hand, you know. Like they had a board game that was just fighting in the street. Like it was literally like the board had streets, right? And you had to move them in certain like around. Like one corner is one move and then another and another. You turn, like go to the next one or whatever. And watch the James Board Games episode on video games, but on video game board games. But yeah, I was like, they took it a little too literally in that. Where Street Fighter. I mean, at least they were still fighting, but like that's where it starts to go. Do you even know what you're talking about, or were you just asked to make this by someone who's like, just make it, you know? There's that, and then there's just like, they did know what it was, but they just wanted a better board game, maybe, or they didn't care either way. They're like, I don't care about board game, I don't care about this, just make something, I don't know. Anyway, it's a popular thing, just make it, you know? because that's the problem. When you change it to the medium, you have to conform a little bit to the medium, or else it doesn't work. So like if you change the book to a comic book, or the video game to a comic book, it might not work if it's not really like action-packed, fast-paced, and stay right here and wait for them all to come. So yeah. Anyway, Street Fighter was a big one. Street Fighter 2, yeah, huge. Now it wasn't the biggest thing, obviously, but it was big. So. No, it wasn't your Star Wars or your Pokemon, where they literally, at one point, took over the entire world. In the sense that there wasn't an, I mean, there was items, but virtually any item. You could think of an item, and it probably had, there's a 99% chance that it had Star Wars version of it. Well, everything from like, you know, the movies, the video games, the toys. Movies, the toys, the video games. Then the posters. And then, like, bed sheets, books, bed sheets. I was going to say diapers, probably. I don't know for a fact. But, T-shirts, clothing, pajamas, waffle makers, toasters, like, and now it's even worse, obviously, but. Okay, let's buy one of these. See what it is. Now it's a leaf blower! This is quite fun. Look how fast I can go now. Nah, look at that. Haha. Hoo hoo hoo, look at this. Look at this, man. Look at this. Oh boy. Look how fast I can go here. Yeah, but it's just, I just realized, like, yeah, but it's fast does not necessarily mean a lot of money. You need a lot of leaves still to blow. I can blow that one leaf super fast, but if I can't do, like, if I don't, what's it called? If I don't have enough leaves to blow, I'm not making that much money, right? I don't know if it's even money. I think it's just leaves. And they are equivalent to money in this game, I guess? Or they're a currency in this game? I don't know. I'm not sure. I guess so. There. Aha! Rocket fuel, man. Or is it rocket fuel, they say? Or nuclear fuel? Nuclear fuel. Haha. Does that mean it can last longer, or is faster, or better, or more powerful? I'm not sure. I don't know. So yeah. So. So yeah, I mean, like I'm confused. Wait, I'm confused. Do you lose fuel by not using it? Can I click any buttons? Let me check. Any buttons do anything? What did I just do? I brought up something, didn't I? Oh, tab brings up the menu, okay. One of the menus, okay. 10,000 golden leaves. Yikes, that's a lot. Auto leaf floor. What does that mean? Oh, auto leaf floors is like I bought some auto leaf guys to blow leaves for me. Oh, I see. I did. Okay. I bought a couple of employees, or are they robots? I don't know what they are. They look a little robotic, but I'm not sure. They look kind of like Roombas. Because, I've seen that. I don't know if you've seen these things. I don't know if they are where you are, but near me, there are these things that are basically Roombas for your, lawnmower Roombas. So if you know what a Roomba is, it's just like a robotic vacuum where it maps out your room and then knows, okay, well, I know this and this. I know what your room looks like, so I know how to vacuum it. how to get every crevice. It basically looks like the same thing, but for vacuum cleaners. For lawnmowers. I was like, what? Oh, come on, really? Can't mow your own lawn? I guess they make automatic everything, so. And they were quite expensive. I think like $2,000 or something, or a couple $100. I don't remember, but it was expensive. So I was like, yikes. Now, not that they're horrible, but I feel really like they were just, was it worth it, right? It was one of those things where, like, was it worth it? I don't know. I have no idea if it was really that worth it. $12K. That's the other thing with these games. They also do it where it multiplies every time, or some of them, these games do it where it multiplies after. Like, okay, so it was $1 to buy this. Now it's $2 to buy this. Now it's $4 to buy this. Now it's $8 to buy this. Next time you buy it, you know. And so that's where it gets the incentive to, like, oh, I gotta keep playing because I want to get it. Oh, and I can do it because it's somewhat quick and somewhat easy and somewhat whatever. So yeah, anyway, I don't think it's the best, the worst, or whatever. But I don't know. It's a really simple game. That's what I wanted. I wanted something simple, and I wanted something, one of those free games on Steam. I was like, I'll look for a free game on Steam, because I'd be surprised how many games are free on Steam. Like, it's a lot of games free on Steam. Like, ridiculous amounts of games that are free on Steam. Some are just free, like, you know, like, kind of like how Fortnite's free, Team Fortress 2 and stuff. But then there are actual games that are pretty good that are free. Like, this is a free game. Like, take this one right here. This is free. So, how much do I have? Wow, I have a lot. I don't have a lot of me, sorry. I can buy something. Let's see what I can buy. These things, leaves drop 1% faster per level. Maybe I can buy some of those? Let's see how many I can buy of those. Ooh, okay. Another 1% faster per level. So I bought a couple of these. Let's see. What are these, like infinite trees? What the heck is this? These trees never have any leaves. Like, there's no, what's it called, cooldown time, like, kind of thing, where they have to grow more leaves? No. None. Okay, so let's leave it. Leaf, what's that? Leaf maker. Receive 1 leaf per level using advanced marketing techniques. Let's see how many I can buy of those. None. Oh, I can buy 2 of those. Let's do that. There you go. Yikes. Or 1 of those? I don't know. There you go. Oh, I see. Now I'm getting 2. Okay. 2 leaves per drop, I think. I was doing 1, now I'm doing 2. Is that right? Is that how I'm getting so many? Let's go. Wow. So, yeah. Strange. Anyway. Yeah, so Street Fighter just everywhere. Books, I always find weird when it's about, like, video games or movies or something, because, like, unless you're doing, like, the, novelizations of movies, then it's pretty much, I mean, you're changing a little bit, yes. I've realized that you're changing a little bit, because I was reading, Back to the Future Part 3, and I realized, oh, okay, that's just, what's it called? That's a little bit changed, obviously, but you're basically taking the book, the movie, and just putting it down as a book, you know? I wouldn't even be surprised if you take the script and you basically go, oh, okay, so the script, I'll just tweak it a little bit, and it's a book now. So, summon 1 more leaf per tree stump. Tree drop. Okay, let's go. What strategy is this that makes it better? 500 nuclear fuel yet. Can I buy this yet? Oh, 500 gold leaves? How many gold leaves do I have? What is that? Leaf blower. Equipped. No, I guess that's pretty much it. I can't buy this yet. This the bottom one yet, the golden leaf thing. I don't know what it is yet. Nuclear fuel. I'm just gonna buy. I'm gonna buy 2 more of this. Yes, I can. Okay, Google. When was the Fairly Odd Parents movie released?
The air date of the first episode of The Fairly Odd
No.
Parents was March 30th, 2001.
When was the Fairly Odd Parents movie released?
July 9th, 2011.
That's it.
According to some information I found on Wikipedia.
I was about to say, I'm like. Then there were things like the movies on like Nickelodeon that like came out. There was like the first. I hate how I say like too much. I always complain that people say like and then I say like too much. Anyway, the movies like the Fairly Odd Parents. Oh, sorry, like the Fred movies, right? Or the Fairly Odd Parents, but the Fred movies where it's like, what? Was Fred a popular character enough to warrant a movie? Definition of warrant.
Here's the definition of warrant. A document issued by a legal or government official.
Definition of warrant.
Here's the definition of warrant. A network of interconnecting rabbit burrows.
No. Does it justify a movie? I don't know. And then with that one, they made 3 movies. They made or was it 4? No, I think it was 3 Fred movies. I was like, what? I watched the first one when it was on YouTube because at one point it was on YouTube. At one point there were a lot of movies that were on YouTube. Yeah. Auto lawnmowers. How many can I buy? None. Yet. No more. Can't buy any of these. I can buy some of these though. And I can buy some of the. What are these? So yeah. I was like, what? That's the first one, and I kind of went, I don't really care. But at the time, I kind of liked Fred, and even I was like, oh gosh, this is bad. I thought Fred was like halfway decently funny show on YouTube, and I was like, that he was doing, and then whatever. And then I kind of just went whatever with it, and then I realized it was one of the things that I realized, oh, I don't need this. So, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I was kind of like, whatever. You know what I mean? I kind of realized, like, I stopped watching it, and then I realized, okay, I don't care. I don't need this anymore. So. Yeah. And so then, so there's that movie in there, and then now this one wasn't a movie; it was a TV series, but it was Annoying Orange, where Tobuscus was on Annoying Orange, and I was just like Toby Turner. I was like, what? I thought it was cool, but also was like, what? Why? Why Toby Turner gets his own show? I don't know. Is he that popular in this? Popular to merit his own merit? Maybe that's the word. Definition of merit.
Here's the definition of merit. The quality of being particularly good or worthy,
There you
especially so as to
Merit. To merit his own show? Like, really? Was Annoying Orange popular enough to merit his own show? I'm not sure. Then again, maybe Annoying Orange is doing so well on YouTube that these people went, we'll make a quick buck on them. We'll license them for whatever. Like they didn't, and they were like, it's just a second place to put it or something. Or we'll just get a few other people to make a TV show version, like, worth their while. I don't know. I never liked Annoying Orange, really. I kind of didn't hate them, but I never liked them. I was never like, oh, I'm a huge fan of them. Because Annoying Orange was stupid in the fact that it was like, hey Apple, like it's stupid. Oh my god, annoying. I mean, I guess they don't call it Annoying Orange for nothing, but God, I did not see the appeal super crazy big. There was a point where I didn't hate them and I watched a bit of it, but I remember even putting it in one of one of the first YouTube videos I ever posted onto YouTube. Wasn't even on my own channel. It was on my friend's channel, Red RBN, and it was making odd or I don't even know if I posted that video. I made a video about it. Like we had an Annoying Orange part of the video, or we were doing Annoying Orange stuff. I don't even know what we were doing. Good gosh, anymore. We did something about Annoying Orange. I don't even know. So let this come. Let them pile up, and then I'll shoot them. Or I'll blow them away. So yeah. What was I think? Yeah, so that, and then there was a Fairly Odd Parents movie, which that I was like, because somebody took I was at my, I remember exactly when I heard about this. I was at my local pool, my summer pool, and I met this new kid, right? Or I like decided to like get to know this new kid, right? Or this kid I've never seen before, like never hung out with before, never seen before. I don't know if he was new or not. I have no idea. And he was a decent kid. I don't know. I didn't hang out with him for very long, but that's what I remember. But I do remember different things. He liked Star Wars. I kind of like Star Wars. Like I was never huge on Star Wars, even as a kid, and even now I don't love Star Wars the way some people do, like my brother or some people. My brother loves Star Wars, but anyway. And so I remember him and his dad. They were, because the kid goes, "What is the Fairly Odd Parents movie?" Or something like, it was either, "Do you know that?" or "Have you seen the Fairly Odd Parents movie?" And I was like, Fairly Odd Parents movie? And I went, "Oh, you mean that thing that they did, that special that they did, the one with the like where the fairies get captured and they go back in time and then they go through all the like they do cameos in all these movies. I think Back to the Future was one of them. Lord of the Rings, like that one, right?" And he's like, No, there's a live action movie. There's a real movie, like a real life movie." And I was like, "What are you talking about? You're a ninny, right?" I thought it was absolutely nuts. I was like, "What are you talking about?" But apparently there was. Like, I didn't look at it for like years after, like 2 or 3 years later, like 2013 or so. I was like, I looked into it, or maybe it was even like the next year or something. I don't remember exactly, but it was significant amount of time after the kid said that I looked into it and I went, oh, there really is a movie. Oh, the kid wasn't a nut. Oh, I'm sorry. I felt bad for myself at that point. I was like, oh, there was a movie. Thanks. Because it was with Drake Bell and then the girl from Victorious. I don't remember her name. The one that Victoria doesn't like. Are they enemies? I don't know. I never watched that show. I thought that show was stupid. Sorry, I did. I thought it was dumb. Now, I didn't think it was the worst show ever, but I thought it was dumb. You know? It was one of those shows I was just like, no, this is stupid. Yet, I watched a bit of Sam and Cat afterwards. Go figure. Like, some reason I could accept that show as being not awful. But I didn't watch a lot of it, but I just watched enough every so often. I didn't consistently watch it, but I watched it every so often. So it was weird how, like, I didn't think that show was bad, but I hated Victorious. I couldn't do Victorious. I don't know. And I did pick up a couple of Victorious just to see what it was, so I wasn't one of those people who went, "Oh, you've never seen it, so what do you know?" It's not a terrible thing. You never watched it, never seen it, never whatever. It's like when your mom says, "Oh, you can't knock it till you try it. Don't knock it." Like, you know, hey, you can't hate it until you tried some. You know, like when it's food. Usually it's food. Usually it's food. It's like, you have to at least try it. At least try. It's like, oh, Ma, I don't like it. Or at least you think you won't like it. You know. Anyway, a lot of people do that with a lot of things. And I'm not calling anybody out. I'm just saying a lot of people do that where they just hate on something just because everybody else is hating on something. And they've never seen it, never looked at it in like a objective way. in terms of they didn't review it in objective with the reviewers look at it. They just took their own like biases that they have, whether that's because somebody you know has said it's awful, or somebody you know doesn't like it, or like a celebrity you know doesn't like it, or like someone like an influential person in your life doesn't like it, or you just don't want to like it. I don't know. And I'm guilty of this. I did the whole thing of like, Twilight's stupid. Or Twilight's awful. It's like, but I never watched Twilight. Because I knew someone. My friend, he asked me, yeah, but have you seen Twilight? I went, no. He goes, I've at least seen Twilight. You know? Anyway. Because I didn't want to be one of the people who looked at it like, okay, no. No. Yeah, I didn't want to be the people who goes, it's awful. And not have seen it, right? That's what he said. So. But to me, these kind of games get a little bit boring after a while if all you gotta do is keep grinding to get the same thing. Like, at least something like some of the old app games, like if you go, what's it called? Like Temple Run, like Angry Birds. Angry Birds was like a game, so that's not a very great example, but like, you know, Plants vs. Zombies, Temple Run, Hill Climb Racing, Jetpack Joyride, they all at least had some kind of appeal. I don't know what it was, but I liked it. Man, I played the all living daylights out of those games, man. Played all, except for, Plants vs. Zombies. I played all of the, like, classic ones, where it's like, you know, Hill Climb Racing, Plants vs. Zombies. I even played the 4 Picks 1 Word one. Yeah. Yeah, that was a good one, actually, because it actually made you think. But man, were they so... I don't know, I think it was a viral thing of everyone was playing it, so I was like, oh, I gotta try them out. And I just got hooked, you know, so... Anyway, but yeah. So... the biases, so... Anyway, so it was so go back to the story. So I eventually watched it because it was on YouTube, and I was like, oh... It wasn't a horrible movie, but it really wasn't great. No, it was weird. It was weird. I was like, what? Because the whole premise of the movie was Timmy didn't want to grow up. Now, spoiler alerts, if you want to see this movie, I don't even know where you see this movie. Maybe you can rent it on YouTube. I'm not even sure. Or buy it on YouTube. I don't know. I have no idea. So, spoiler alert. Okay, so, for all the people who are now gone because they don't want to see it or hear about it, so it's basically Timmy didn't want to grow up because he knew if he grew up, he'd lose his fairies, right? And then Crocker wants to capture the fairies like he always does. And then I think Jordan comes in multiple times in the movie, and basically Jordan, like the head fairy, basically comes in multiple times in the movie and tries to get Timmy to, like, stop. Or, like, grow up. He's like, Timmy, you gotta grow up. Or, no, he says it more like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold, Timmy, you have to grow up. You don't grow up. You can't live like this. You must grow up. Whatever, you know? You can't say a kid. You have to grow. You have to grow up. Timmy, grow up. You know? And I'm just like, I'm like thinking like, first of all, what does he care? But it's apparently because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not 100% sure how this. I don't 100% remember exactly how it works, but I think it was something to the effect of fairies get reassigned to people after their time is up, kind of thing. Like, okay, your fairy. Well, you're assigned to a kid for as long as they're a kid, and then you get reassigned to someone else. Right? It makes sense, I guess. But Timmy found the loophole as to if you stay a kid, if you're never technically an adult, you can keep your fairies forever, right? And then he goes. Then the fairies get captured by Crocker, and see, I'm trying to remember this from memory too. I haven't seen it in forever. I probably saw it like once after I saw it the original time. You know? Like once, like legitimately once. Or twice, so I've seen the movie maybe twice, maybe. If that. I think it's still on YouTube, though. Let me just see if it's still on YouTube. Okay, so we found the loophole, and so it gets captured, and then Timmy, and it's Trudy, right? Which is Trixie's sister, younger sister, or is it Vic? No, I think it's Trixie's younger sister, or is that Trudy's younger sister? Vicky's younger sister. I'm not 100% sure. Let me just see. I don't remember. I think it's Trixie's younger sister. Movie. Let's see, it's still on YouTube. On a movie. How long is a Fairly Odd Parents movie?
The Fairly Odd Parents movies by running time. A Fairly Odd Movie. Grow Up, Timmy Turner.
That's it.
A Fairly Odd Christmas and a Fairly Odd Summer.
They made multiple of these! What? Oh, I didn't even know that. That I didn't know. They made multiple of these, apparently. Of these Fairly Odd Parent movies. Oh. For what? What market was this for? Did people actually care about... When? Fairly Odd Parents movie, Timmy Grow Up, Wikipedia, Fairly Odd Parents movie series. There you go. There's a film series? What the heck? Why? What audience was this going for? I guess this is going for that audience of people where not every kid was using the internet, so they weren't on like streaming services yet necessarily, right? But they weren't also but there was like there's still an audience for them on TV, so 31 hours! Holy crow! Some guy's got a video of a Fairly Odd movie that's 31 hours! What are you, stupid? Oh my god, who's gonna watch that? What are the views on this video? 2.3! No, sorry, 2 million views. God, that's insane. That's absolutely nuts. That's mental. That's nuts. No, okay. That is nutso. Absolutely nuts. Wow. I've seen like 7 hours, 17 hours, 31-hour long video. God, that's crazy. Yeah, I think I'm talking like Hour Catastrophe. Now, who is Trixie? We grew up. A Fairly Odd Parents Christmas, and then A Fairly Odd Summer. That's the thing, though. It went all the way to 2014, so and you would think by 2014 nobody would have watched it. But when was this? 2.8 million. Wait, let me see the other ones. 4 million. Okay, look. The first one was 5.8 million. Okay, people viewed this. Okay, then you've got 4.4 million viewed the second one, A Fairly Odd Christmas, and the third one was only 2.8 million. And you would think, oh wow, it's a big dip. It's literally almost half, or it's literally half, pretty much half, the viewers from the first one. What the heck? Yeah, but that's still 2.8 million people. So that's still a pretty good number. I wouldn't be that surprised by that. That's like when people say stuff like, "Oh, I only got bronze," like in the Olympics or something. "Oh, he only got bronze." I'm like, "Bronze? I take bronze. You're still on the freaking podium. It's amazing." Oh yeah, okay. I'd want silver or gold because that's better. But if I got bronze, I wouldn't be, I wouldn't think it was so awful. Like, come on, bronze, man. Well, I thought it was, yeah. See the one where you eat that magical cupcake where the cupcake was, which gave you like wish cupcake, I think. So I think different people, or Crocker maybe ate it. I don't know. 'Cause that's what I thought the kid was talking about. I was like, oh, that's what you're talking about. I was like, no. God, wow. Okay. Who is Trudy in the Fairly Odd Parents?
Here's a summary from Fairly Odd Parents.
Trudy,
Wiki
sorry.
fandom.
Sorry.
Trudy is the younger sister of Vicky.
Oh, Vicky.
She has an obsessive, unrequited crush on Timmy, and usually appears to pester Timmy during one of his adventures.
Okay, there. Sorry. So it's the younger sister of Vicky. Tootie, not Trudy. Tootie. That's what I remember. I remember two things. One, she didn't look, ugly, because they tried to make her look ugly as to why Timmy wouldn't like her. Annoying and ugly, okay? And in the movie, she was the complete opposite of that. Very nice and very nice looking. So I was like, that's not the character. But I kind of let it go, whatever, fine. But like, why would Timmy? Because he eventually falls in love with Timmy. No, he falls in love with Timmy. He falls in love with Tootie, and and it's like, wait. Why would you want to be in love with the sister of Vicky? And Vicky was in the movie too. So I'm like, what? I think she was in the movie anyway. God, that movie was so weird. There's a lot of weird things about that movie, like the choice of choosing Drake Bell as Timmy. Sorry, Josh Parker. No, Drake Bell. Yeah, Drake Bell as Timmy. I was like, what? Why? Drake Bell, right? Yes, I believe so. I was like, what? Why? I just didn't get it. I was like, what? Why? That I was like, what? Why? And then other things, I was like, I don't know. Devin. Anyway, I don't know. I never been to that, and then okay. So they're trying to get Timmy to grow up. Grow up, Timmy. You're too young. Oh, you're too old to be doing what you're doing. Get a job. Get into this. Get into that. Go to education. He's still in the freaking what is it, 4th grade or something? So like, come on. And then, basically at the end, Jorgen goes, so they save the fairies, and they save the fairies, Timmy thinks it's a happily ever after, and he falls in love with Trudy, so he thinks, oh, this is all great. But then, Jorgen at the end kind of just realizes, okay, fine, look. Jorgen at the end basically goes, okay, fine, we'll change the rule for you, so you can keep your fairies forever because you obviously love your fairies, and this is a family thing, and it's like a community. I'm like, oh, what? Why? But again, yeah, but no, sorry. But they do that a lot in the movie. They do that a lot in the show, though. They do a lot of this changing rules for Timmy thing. Or changing rules in general because of Timmy. And it's just why does Timmy make so much rules? Why? You know what I mean? Why does Timmy, right, make all these rules? Or get to change rules and get to, be the guy who, gets to have so much influence that he can change rules, right? I don't know. I never understood that as a kid. I was like, what? Why? Not that he's 100. doesn't have any like say on any of this, but like, what? Anyway, and I liked that show as a kid because it was always a competition, or not a competition, but it was always like there were two types of people, right? There were the SpongeBob people and the Fairly Odd Parents people, and I was in the middle. I was in both camps. I liked both shows, but I really did like Fairly Odd Parents a lot. My friend was just like, oh, Fairly Odd Parents, not great. Yeah. Right? I loved Fairly Odd Parents. I thought it was great. And at certain points, I was like, I think I liked it better than SpongeBob at certain points. Which sound, oh no. What? SpongeBob was so much better. It's like, yeah, it was. I realize that now, but at certain points, I was like, okay. There were times when I thought Fairly Odd Parents was like better than SpongeBob. I was so like, I liked it that much. I don't know, something about it. It appealed to me. I don't know. I liked it. I don't know what it was. I have no idea what it was. None. Couldn't tell you. But like, yeah, so that movie was strange. So. Yeah. So yeah, it was just a weird, strange thing, that movie. To change it, and he gets to keep his fairies, as long as he becomes like, I don't even remember what the heck it was. It was like, let me read the synopsis of the movie. For the Odd Parents, no, it's the film series. So, okay, let's read the synopsis. Let me just read the synopsis quickly here. The Fairly Odd Parents grow-up Timmy Turner follows 23-year-old Timmy Turner, Drake Bell, who is trying to prevent himself from growing up in order to keep his fairy godparents, Cosmo, Wanda, and Poof, from disappearing from his life. His resolve is tested when Tutti, Daniela Monet, returns to town as a beautiful grown-up woman, as falling in love would be seen as a sign of adulthood. Oh, that was the other thing. Adulthood. He couldn't fall in love either. That was the thing too. But he still did. And there was a point when I believe there was a point when he was like, oh, this is like the perfect life. I got my fairies. I saved them. I saved whatever, and I have and I've got a girl. I see, fall in love with a girl. So I'm like, and I was like, but does that contradict? Because I think they say that at one point that it would make him grow up. And so doesn't that contradict exactly what you just said? I don't know. Anyway, his resolve is tested when Tootie goes and falsehood and with to lose his friends. Meanwhile, Mr. Crocker has teamed up with the evil businessman Hugh J. Magnate Jr., Steve Weber, in an attempt to capture Timmy's fairies and use them for their own selfish purposes. That's it? They don't say at the end? Oh, whatever. Because at the end, if he becomes like the not guardian, but like becomes like the poster child kind of thing for the fairy world, and like you help the kids in the fairy community, and I don't even know anymore. Something like that. Something to the effect of that. And then you're like, okay. And he got to grow up. That was the other thing. I was like, wait a sec. You get to grow up and keep your fairies. Why? Who's Timmy to say, like, who is Timmy? Timmy's like this weird guy with all these privileges. He's like, oh, he's a guy who's got immunity to all this stuff. Well, we'll change it for you. Why? And the other thing I never understood was why there no other kids in the show ever had fairies. Now, you saw other fairies. You saw kids who had other fairies. But in the show, like, the main people, none of them had fairies. None of them. Now, there were some kids who had fairies, and they're like, episodes that had plot points with other fairies and like kids with other fairies, but none of the most of the episodes ever had any other fairies. I was like, none of them. At least from what I remember. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe somebody will correct me on that. But they never had any of their own fairies, and I was always like, what, why? Whoa, why? I don't get it. I just didn't get it. Probably the only fairies you see, Brave Big Preston, and obviously he's the main character, so they wanted to make him have fairies and everybody else not. Maybe I don't know, but I don't know what the reasoning is. But I was always very just confused. I guess like perplexed, confused. I was like, what? Why? Why do you not? Why you don't ever see other people with fairies? And I don't know. And that's the thing. There are other fairies. They explain other fairies. They explain that other kids have fairies, but they don't ever show very much of other kids having fairies. So it's like, so do other kids have fairies? I mean, yes, they show a bit of it, but I don't know. Strange in my opinion, but whatever. It's kind of like how in Wizards of Waverly Place, if you ever watched that show, for the first like 2 seasons, maybe 3 seasons, the whole premise was, or the whole thing was, the father did not want them to use magic, and I always was like, what? Why? I talked about this before on the podcast, probably like last year, about this time last year, and I was just like, wait a sec, but why? The whole show is called Wizards of Waverly Place, and you're not allowed to use magic? Why? That's so stupid. I mean, it wasn't the worst, but it's stupid. Why? That's so stupid. I mean, it wasn't the worst, but it's stupid. Because, and I was like, why? They didn't even make it like you have to keep your magic low, you have to keep your you can't use magic all the time. No, it was very much, you can't use magic. The father was like, no, you were not allowed to use magic. You're allowed to learn all about magic, but you're not allowed to use it. And I almost feel like, well, if you know that show, again, spoiler alerts, if you know that show, the father basically lost his magic, because he became the family wizard. Because in that show, you learn to be wizards, and then you compete in like a tournament, and you become your family's wizard, and everybody else just becomes normal human beings. Which I kind of I thought to myself as a kid, I remember thinking this as a kid, being like, wait a sec, that sounds manipulative, in the sense of like, what? So you just lose it. And second, it was like, so you just lose it. You learn all this stuff, you're allowed to use magic up until that time, and then you just lose it? Why? What? What kind of logic is that? What was the point of learning magic then? I mean, to have fun while it lasted? What is it? To use magic while you could? I don't get it. Anyway, so the father did, but wanted to marry I'm not going to say muggle. I was going to say muggle, but I don't think it's called muggles. A non-wizard. And then, so he lost his powers by marrying a non-wizard. But you're not allowed to tell the regular world that you're a wizard, because your wizarding powers could be taken away from you, and you could be put into, I don't know if you could be put into prison per se, but you went to I know they had wizarding courts, so I don't know. And that was the thing why I didn't start watching, because I have Disney Plus, right? And I didn't watch. Actually, my brother has Disney Plus, but anyway, I use his. But anyway, Disney Plus, and so I started watching it, because I started watching some of the old ones. So like last year, I started watching, or actually technically 2 years ago, not this Christmas, last Christmas. Anyway, I started watching. It was Sweet Life was on deck, then Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, and then I went, okay, what other shows did I like? And I went, okay, I like Wizards of Waverly Place, and then I realized Wizards of Waverly Place is so slow to start. Like, there's nothing good in any of the first few seasons. And I remember watching, going, okay, it wasn't that there's nothing. It's just, God, it was such a whole different show. They changed completely when they decided excuse me, to let them use magic. Well, because the thing is, it kind of did evolve though into that, but not really. It kind of just was like, okay, now you can use magic now. I'm like, but why are you magically allowed to use magic now? What's that? Why? Because, and I feel like the reason they didn't let him use magic was they wanted to make it seem like the father was resentful in the fact that he can't use magic. You know, so it's like, oh, well, I can't use magic, so you shouldn't be able to use magic. No. No. Or at least learn exactly when to use magic. Like, come on. And I also remember as a kid for the longest time thinking, why does the father never use any magic? He never uses a single bit of magic. Yet. Then I learned, like, later on in the show, I was like, oh, I clued in and went, oh, he doesn't have powers. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that. Like, I never even clued. I was just doing that kid thing, like, well, why didn't you ever use magic? Why? You know. I realized, oh, he doesn't have magical powers because, oh, okay. Right? $30,000. How much can I buy? What can I buy now? Okay. There you go. Gold leaf. Fine. Got it. Nice. Oh, there we go. Oh, I wasn't collecting gold leaves. Now I am. Okay. I see. I haven't been collecting single golden leaves yet. Oh, now it's something what I can buy with gold leaves. Okay. I see. So what can I buy? Max that out. Nope, I can't max it. Okay. But anyway. Now I'm collecting gold leaves. There you go. Okay, so what was I saying? Yeah, so then they just like, what are they talking about? Yeah, so magical. And then I also thought, I'm like, as a kid, I remember thinking, I'm like, wait a sec. Why are you allowed to be in the wizarding world, though? And how are you allowed to teach your children about magic, right? If you've done something that's technically against wizarding rules, right? It's technically against the wizarding rules. So what? It's one of those, I was like, what? This show doesn't make sense. It contradicts itself often, and it does a lot of these things that I'm just like, what? Why? I don't... What? Anyway. It got better once I let him use magic. Because there are episodes where I think their Uncle Kelbo came... Okay, so their Uncle Kelbo, which is the father's brother, comes along. His name was... What was his name? Jerry. The father's name was Jerry, right? I can buy some stuff, okay? So yeah. So Jerry was just like, so his brother comes along and basically says, because he lets the kids do things with magic, right? And then the kids, have a big fight with the father because they're like, let us do, because the father was teaching them in a learn kind of way, not a do kind of way. So instead of teaching them do, because you do have to learn, right? Obviously, right? But there's a certain level of, okay, you've learned basically as much as you can. You have to just start doing, practically applying what you've learned, right? Or else you can learn for the rest of your life, but if you don't apply it, you'll never be better. Never. I don't care what you do. You have to apply what you do. There's the theoretical theory for forever, but you have to apply what you learn. Anyway. Yeah. So they basically have a big fight, and then they're like, I want Kelbo to be my teacher now, because Kelbo learns or does, and then they realize Kelbo really doesn't know a lot, and so they or know as much as he thinks he does. So they try and get him to teach, and he's just like, yeah, flick it. Just do, and you'll learn. And it's like, but you have to know what you're doing to do, or to apply. You can't just apply no knowledge, because that's the other thing. They tried to make a balance of like, well, you have to learn and apply. So you have to know what you're applying, what kind of thing. You know what you're doing. You know what you're, doing. Anyway, not saying the couple was awful. I don't know. Anyway, but like, yeah. So it was just weird that way. Like, it was like, okay. So what about this? Oh, I can multiply. I don't know why I'm typing. The lower you play, the longer you play, the more achievements you get. Simple. Progress. Got it. Okay, so yeah. So, and then they did that, and then so they basically went back to the father because they realized, oh no, my father knows more than Kelbo. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry, Dad. Which, in retrospect, I'm like, why would you just argued for so long that you have to do? Why did you just go back? Anyway. That, whatever. But it was every time they used magic, the father would have a cow, would just go out of his mind. He'd be like, no, you can't use magic. And at first, they kind of learned their lesson kind of thing. Like, okay, Dad, I'm sorry. We won't use magic anymore. And they just, go on to use more magic in the subsequent episodes. But I always thought, whenever they did that, I was like, but it's a show about magic. It's called Wizards of Waverly Place. You're wizards. You use magic. What the heck? I never understood it. I still don't understand it. I still don't get it. I'm like, it's stupid. The first two seasons are stupid. Because why would he have a cow? Never apply what you learn. Never use what you learn. So then why are you teaching me this? That's the other thing. I thought, well, why are you teaching them anything if they're not allowed to use their magic? But he always came off as like, you gotta know when to use your magic and when to not use your magic so that... What? No, that's a bunch of hooey, I'm sorry. In terms of... Because later on, they just literally are allowed to use magic whenever they want for whatever reason. Like, there's no questions asked eventually at a certain point. At a certain point, it stops being a thing of, well, you gotta learn to use your magic, and you gotta make sure you know when to use it, when to apply it. There's a time for everything of magic. And it's like, what? What? Huh? What? How? What? It's kind of like Harry Potter, except there's no real rule in the world, in this wizarding universe, wizarding world, where that's like set in stone in any way. Because like Harry Potter in the sense of you're not allowed to use magic under 18, right? So if you're a kid, you're not allowed to use magic. Which, that makes sense. You don't want to be caught, right? You're I don't want to say a dumb, but you're young and naive, and so you don't want to get caught, right? And if you get caught, bad things can happen to you. You can be expelled from different places, your school where you're attending. You could be put to jail, Azkaban, different things, right? But that was just something that the father made up, kind of thing. Because I remember parts when, like, they would go to there was a wizarding school, and when the whole premise was still learn it properly, right? Or it's circumstantial in the sense that, well, if you're in the wizarding world, yeah, you can use magic all you want. Which I kind of understood. At least if you kept that way, it would have made sense. But no, because then you just change it eventually, and they change it to just, oh, use magic willy-nilly now. Now, maybe there's an episode that explains why they're allowed to use magic all of a sudden, but I never remember watching that episode. Maybe I missed it. I'm sorry, maybe I missed it. But good gosh, I was like, why? Are you magically now suddenly allowed to use magic? Like, there's no more the father questions everything, or... Because there's also a behind-the-back kind of thing, too. Let's try and use magic, Oh, let's try and get away with magic. And then it just got to the point where, nope, they don't even care what they're getting away with. It just became a normal, like, oh, no, I'm allowed to use magic. Right? Like, it's a normal thing. It's just natural now. Normal. Like, you can just use magic whenever you want. It's like, but that just contradicts all of what you just did in the whole other seasons when you were just like, okay, fine, you got, like, trying to get away with using magic. I don't know. Maybe I missed something. I don't remember the episode where it was like, oh yeah, and now you can use magic because you've matured all the time, or whatever. There's a reason. You either mature, come to like a knowledgeable level, or whatever. You know, you passed your test. You know, no, just okay. Now you can use magic all the time. Because there's the whole thing of there's a wizarding world, and you can use it in there, but in the real world, no. But then that contradicts itself because they're allowed to use it whenever you want eventually. So anywhere, anytime. They still kind of had that like, I can't be caught using magic necessarily, but they never hide it to the same extent they did in the earlier seasons. It's like, you know, they don't try and hide it the way they do in the earlier seasons. No, they still have this like, okay, you can't use magic whenever, wherever, in front of anybody, but they just magic, poof in, poof out, this, that, and the other thing, you know. So, not that that's horrible, but like, give me a reason why you just now magically you're suddenly allowed to use magic. Why? Give me a reason. Maybe maybe there is some reason I missed. This is an episode I missed somewhere. Cause I don't even know if I've watched every episode, but yeah. So. And then and then there's a point where they tell Alex, which is the daughter, they tell her best friend that they're wizards, which again goes against the wizarding rules. So I was like, how did you get away with this? Here's the thing. What can I do? Oh boy. No, okay. You know, how did you get away with saying that and not have somebody catch you? Because there are other times when they do something that breaks some kind of wizarding rule, and like the big, I don't know, authorities, whoever wizarding authorities come after them, and they get like punished or they get reprimanded or in some way, right? But that, which is one of the bigger rules to break, or things to like, rules to break, or right, whatever. Nothing ever happens to that. Never. And I'm like, what? Nobody ever questions the girl. No. And then later on, like way later on, like near the end of the series, one of the last few seasons, they tell Justin's best friend that they're wizards. And it's just like, wait. I was like, wait. So you got away with the first one, so you're gonna try again? But I mean, I guess you figure, hey, if the first time, if Alex can do it, Justin, who's the older son, Justin can do it too. Hey. Why not? No. Here's the other thing. Okay, Max tries to do that with a girl that he likes. Okay, and Max tries to do that, and then the whole family tries to hide the thing. Like, oh, I'm a wizard, and she goes, what? And he proves it. Like, he does these like flying carpet rides, and he poofs things in and whatever, uses magic on the stuff, and then the family's like, no, and they make a whole elaborate thing to make sure that this girl, whole elaborate thing to show that it's just a bunch of like effects and like, you know, oh, it's stage trickery, haha, funny, haha, look at us, oh, we're great, you know, we got movie magic kind of thing, you know, kind of thing, right? And he's like, no, it's real, and then it's like, and then eventually they convince him, okay, it's not real. Anyway, so like that also contradicts it. Why are the other two able to do that? Why was Alex allowed to tell people that she's a wizard? And then eventually Justin, but in between that, Max not allowed to tell a soul. They always made Max to be the dumb, the one that nobody likes, the one that he gets nothing. I don't know. He does. They do, and it's like, what? I always ask myself, why? Why is Alex allowed to tell her best friend? And eventually, Justin allowed to tell his best friend, but Max is not allowed to tell a soul that he's a wizard. What the heck? Like, oh, it's trickery, funny, oh yeah, we got you. It's great. You know, we convinced you it was a wizard. Ah, you believed it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and then that's it. I'm like, oh, I don't get it. I just don't get it. I never understood how strangely mixed the whole thing was. Just the fact that he's allowed to, the father's allowed to do things which technically goes against. And it's not really going against the rules. It's just, it was kind of the whole thing of, well, if you don't, or if you want to marry a non-wizard, and, no, it was, okay, that's the thing. It wasn't just a non-wizard marrying. It was the fact that he won his family's tournament, became the family wizard, and then wanted to marry a non-wizard. Because you can't tell people you're a wizard. So he wanted to marry a non-wizard, a normal, I don't know, I can't think of a better word than muggle. But anyway. Right? So, it's like, right? That's what it was. Okay. Anyway, but still. And it was kind of the whole thing of, okay, if you want to marry this woman, you can, but you cannot be in this wizarding world anymore. Or you can't be in the same world. No, sorry, that's it. I think that's kind of what it was. But he still was somehow able to be in the world of the wizarding world and the wizarding stuff and teaches children wizarding stuff. I don't know. I don't get it. It's like if you're in a secret society and then you leave the secret society, you're not allowed to talk about secret society or not. You know, something like an NDA, non-disclosure agreement kind of setup almost, where it's like, okay, if you want to be in this hot, no. I don't know what would get hot. I don't know. No, I don't think so. Anyway. How many? Unlock leaf portal. Unlock the leaf portal where you can restart your leaf blowing adventure to gain points. Oh, we don't do that then. Oh, no, okay. Oh, wow, there's a lot to do. 1. Combo multiplier. Increase combo multiplier by 50%. Okay. Oh, 1,000. I thought it was 1. Okay, never mind. Okay. Right? Well, you can't be in it anymore. No, sorry. You can't talk about it. You can't do anything. You know, you can't tell other people to go into nothing. You can't, nothing. But yeah, you still got away with it. I don't get it. I just don't get some of the stuff in that show. It contradicts itself quite a bit. And then they had the movie, which made a whole different lore, where it's like it explained a few different things. And then and then the show went and made a completely different thing when it ended. Because they did, okay, again, spoiler alert for the movie. They do the wizarding tournament, but then decide in the show that, oh, that's not the wizarding tournament. No. That's not the family wizarding tournament. No, not at all. No, it's not. No. No, the wizarding tournament's actually going to be different. It's like, why? You just showed exactly what it was. No, anyway. And there's like a family wizard wand and a training wand and there's like a wizarding spell book and then none of that translated to the show. Back into the show. I'm like, what? I mean, that happens a lot though with shows where they make a movie. They change it slightly and add either characters or add different things, like different story arc or different whatever, or different things where it doesn't translate back into the show. I've seen that quite a bit, like I do with animes sometimes and different shows where they get movies. So, we're still the same characters and the same story, but it's slightly different than like what's happening in the show. So I wasn't too stupid, like thought that was dumb, but anyway. That wasn't too crazy, but it was kind of a little strange, like, what? But why? You just can't, what, you said this was this? And then they in the movie, they make it out to be like, okay, there's a magical wizarding rock, or magical rock, wishing rock, that if you obtain the rock, if you have the rock, you can basically undo anything you've done, any wish, anything bad, you can just like undo it, right? But it's very hard to find and very lucrative and very rare. So I'm like, okay, fine. I got nothing wrong with that. But then they just go and do something stupid where, like, in the show. So again, spoiler alert. They, like, do this thing where they get convinced by the government. Or they get tricked by the government. And I don't even know if these people were actual government agents or not. But I don't remember. I think they were. To basically confess or to tell them, hey, we're wizards. Wizards are real. You know, wizards are actually real. It would be like, these, it would be like, you know, some kind of secret organizational guy who their whole thing is to never be seen, let's say, or never be known that they exist, goes out and tells, like, a reporter or a government or whoever, oh, yeah, we exist. Oh, yeah. It's a thing. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, we're wizards and we this, that, and the other thing, you know? And that's the thing about it. When they get, like, brought into their this weird, like, underground, not negotiation, what's the word, interrogation place. It's like an underground bunker where they get interrogated. All of them get interrogated. And I think even there was even, the best friend, Alex's best friend, Harper, Zach's, Justin's best friend, Zeke, and the head of the Wizarding Academy were all there, I believe. Maybe not. No, maybe not. Or was it Mason, Justin, Alex's girlfriend, maybe? Alex's girlfriend. Alex's boyfriend. Gosh, sorry. Alex's boyfriend. Alex's boyfriend? I don't remember. I think Mason was there. Alex's boyfriend, who is a werewolf. Because okay, so the thing back about where they're talking about how if you want to go into the real world, you basically give up everything about the wizarding world. So it's not like Harry Potter where there's nothing against you marrying a non-wizard and telling them that you're a wizard. There's nothing. That's the thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with that in Harry Potter. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not super fan of Harry Potter. My brother knows a lot about that. But I just don't remember. But I think that's what it is. So it's not like that. It's like, no, if you get into it, you're just out. Like, you just can't talk about it anymore. Nothing you can... Anyway. But anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so they get interrogated. And so all of them, so the dumb one and the gullible one, which are Alex and Max, they hold firm. They hold firm forever. They're just like, no. They just never tell them anything, right? Justin, who's apparently the smart one, gets manipulated into telling them because something like, oh, the world's in danger. We need your help, because that's basically what these guys tell him. They're like to convince him, like, oh, dude, the world is in danger. We need you, wizards' help, because it's beyond our we don't have the means to do it anymore. Like, we tried, man. Or was it aliens were coming or something? I don't even remember what they convinced him. Anyway. The other thing was, maybe I missed it, maybe I don't remember exactly what happened, but I remember that they never explained what the heck that was all about. Was it fake? Was it someone trying to get them? They never explained what it was about. Never. Who these people ended up being, like, why, or like in the sense of what part of the government, why they wanted them, and why they actually wanted them. Were they evil? Were they trying to destroy wizards? Were they trying to kill wizards? What was it? They never really explained it. Now maybe again I missed it, or I forgotten what has happened, but I don't remember ever hearing why they were caught. And so Justin goes and tells them everything. Yeah, we're wizards, and this is how it works, and blah blah blah, yada yada yada. And then, basically, doing the one thing that could super duperly, very easily get you thrown into jail or killed. I don't know. Maybe it was punishable by death. I don't even know. Don't know necessarily, but it was like one of the worst things you can do as a wizard, apparently. right? Expose the wizards, right? Or expose the wizarding world, right? They go to court, right? So he had a court appearance. Because basically what happened was the wizarding authorities, I don't know who it was, whether it was the head of the academy, the Wizarding Academy, or what, or like actual like wizard police. I don't remember exactly, but wizarding authority of some kind comes to them and basically go, nope, you're not wizards anymore. Bye. And then they were allowed to appeal in court to it by like they're allowed to show their case, make their case in court, and they basically are like. They do do a lot of. They do some convincing, and they convince the jury and the judge. Okay, look. I know we done bad, but we can do better. We can do whatever, and it's like. But it wasn't that hard. They didn't do a lot of work to be like. Hard. They didn't convince them for days and have lots of court appearances and like here's all the evidence. No, they kind of just were like. Oh, we'll do better next time. And it was like, okay. And they just were like, okay. You know what? Yeah. They did give them, okay, to be fair, they did give them the sentence of like, you can't use your powers for so long. And just, because Justin had to teach delinquent wizards and Alex had to attend that delinquent wizards class. And had to pass the delinquent wizard class to get their like powers back, to get their magic back, So they did have some consequences, but it wasn't exactly a lot. And if that's the worst thing you could do, right? They just got off kind of with a warning of like, oh, try as long as you do this, it'll be great. And they do make it seem like it's harder and like more. Hard, right? It's hard, and like, oh well, I really got to teach these. You're real delinquents, man. Come on. And Alex is like, oh man, it's a hard course, man. I remember watching, going, that's all you got? That's it? Your sentence? That was it? Nothing. No jail. No powers removed forever. Nothing. The powers did get suspended, but. Got taken away from them, but I mean, it wasn't like it was. I don't know. Anyway, the show just gets weird, like contradicts itself and does these weird things. I don't know. It's just weird in my opinion. The show is just bizarre in that way, where it contradicts itself and changes. It's like how things work. Whatever. Let's say one thing. Oh, it's done this way, and then it'll be like, nope, no. That thing that we said like 5 episodes ago or last season. Where we said this, this just contradicts all of it. It's like, what? Why? What? To make a better show? I don't know. The plot holes in the show where it's like, wait a sec. But you said, whatever, 10 episodes, 30 episodes, a season, 2 seasons earlier, that you couldn't do this, or you had to do this. Now you don't have to, or now you do, or... What? What happened? I don't know. And then there's a whole, like, plot line of when Max gets turned into a girl. I'm like, well, what was the point of that? To teach them a lesson? What was it? I don't get it, because it was, like, in that time when they weren't allowed to do a lot of things in the wizarding world. With the wizarding world, they were kind of just like, They weren't allowed to do a lot in the wizarding world. So I don't remember how they changed them into a girl exactly, but they said some spells, and I guess Justin and Alex's spells like collided, and somehow like hit Max, and Max turned into a girl or something. I don't remember what that. And he got stuck as a girl because they couldn't reverse it. Which contradicts itself again because, first of all, they were... And then there's there's 2 other things. There's Justin was always a goody-goody, so in the first few episodes, seasons, he always was like, no, we can't do this. And then eventually, like, no, it's got to be done properly. No, we're only allowed to use magic this time. And then eventually becomes, like, just like everybody else, where it's like, oh, So we can just use magic whenever. It's like, what? But you were the one who always was like, no, you can't. You gotta know when to use the magic and whatever. That's one thing. But the other thing was, wait, what was I ever gonna say? It was Max got turned into a girl. Justin. What was it? It was like Justin. Max got turned into a girl. Oh yeah. It was the fact that at one point they say stuff like you can make up spells, right? You can just make two things, okay? Two things. You can make up spells. And at first, it was you can literally just say a spell that you think will work. And then, boom, it just is a spell. And I'm like, okay, if that's how you want to do it, that's how you want to do it, right? Okay? So, but that father always makes this disclaimer of, make sure you word it properly, because one of them was, I don't remember exactly what the spell was. It was something like, I am hungry, so fill my belly, make me a peanut butter and jelly. Right? And so, the thing that, like, the joke they made out of it was like, make me a peanut butter and jelly, so it turned the person into a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, instead of making them a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So, he was trying to show that, like, make sure you word it properly. But, it was basically just say something and it magically becomes a spell, right? But then, later on, Justin is creating a spell, right? And Justin has to go through this process of, like, put this potion and make this thing and poof it in and do this and, like, put this ingredient in to make this potion and mix that together and then you'll get a spell. And then, boom, and then the spell can exist. And I'm like, but doesn't that just contradict what you just said in the previous, or earlier seasons where you could just say a spell? Unless there are levels of spells or permanence of spells where, like, this is now a real spell. And you have to also get it certified. I was like, wait, but that's not how you said it previously. Oh, my throat hurts. I'm talking so long. But anyway, like, previously you had to explain it. I don't know. It's just bizarre in my opinion. I'm like, wait a second. Why? Huh? What? So, is that just kind of like a one-time thing, and then that spell is not really a spell? Or is it not officially a spell? Is that what it is? That's not what you said, though. You basically said, oh, you can make any spell. So, the thing that they did there where they turned Max into a girl, couldn't you just design, like, make a spell that turns him back? Or go find that I don't know if actually that episode came out before or after the movie. So maybe it was before the movie. I don't know. But, couldn't you just go back to that wishing rock and find the wishing rock and just reverse that? It was just really bizarre. I never understood. I was like, what? That just contradicts yourself all. What? But you said earlier that you could do I don't know. Do this or whatever. I don't know. And then there was like time things and like where like you're not allowed to use it for time travel, or you're not allowed to use it for your own personal gain either, magic. But clearly they do that multiple times both ways. Like they go into the future and see Harper Harper, which is Alex's best friend, as a like older, and it's like you're not technically allowed to do that, but then it's like, well, then why is there a spell that lets you do that though? Then you couldn't you design it so that you couldn't do that though? Or could you remove that spell though then? But then again, you've already stated earlier that you're allowed to use magic to do whatever, like you can make up spells. So if you can make up spells, just make a spell to go into the future, right? So even if you somehow like remove that spell, somebody could just make up another spell that says, I want to go to the future. Boom. And then there were weird things, but they never explained what the purpose was for some of these things. Like, some of them they were like, don't abuse it. There's good uses for it and bad uses for it. But other spells, like there was one spell where you were allowed to switch bodies with someone, and they never really explained the use for it. I remember that. I even remember exactly what the spell was. It was one person's name, two person names. Mia Kapora. No. Alex Jensen, Mia Kapora, Sua Numanavi, or something like that. Anyway, something to that effect. Sua Numanavi, something like that. But they never explained. Maybe they did. Maybe I forgot why they did it. Maybe I have to rewatch those episodes, because they used it in a couple episodes. But I remember why they used it, but I don't remember if they ever explained what the actual use case was for it. I don't know. To me, it was weird, that show. I've said, multiple times now, but I just think it was a weird show. I do. Where it contradicted itself a lot, and it was never clear on things, and then other things were like, this is set in stone, other things no, and then certain characters were treated completely differently than other characters, with weird double standards, and like, what? I don't know. You know? Other standards, double standards, where one character is allowed to do one thing, but others are not. And then other people get punished real hard, and other people, no, not so much. And then other people have to do it one way, and other people can do it a different way. And basically, the Wizarding World there, it was way too open, in my opinion. There was no rules. Like, at least in something like Harry Potter, where they're explaining magic, they at least have, like, rules and systems in place where you have to do it this way. That way, in Wizard Waverly Place, they just kind of set it up as like, it's just open, whatever. We'll just make it up as we go along. And that's, I feel like, what happened, too. They didn't set up a system in the show. They kind of just were like, just make it up as we go along. Every episode will be different, and nobody really care about the continuity of this. The plot holes, even if there's plot holes, whatever, we don't. And that's the thing. I never really cared about the plot holes as a kid, because I was just enjoying the show, right? I was like, oh, whatever, I don't care. Who cares? But, like, I was still just like, what? I still was confused in certain times. I was like, certain points. I was like, this is confusing as heck. I don't get it. Anyway. That's just my opinion on that show. It's not, and don't get me wrong, I don't hate that show. It's not. I don't think it's a bad show. I just think it's really everywhere. If you want to go, if you want to use, everywhere. I guess, everywhere. And the fact that it's everywhere, and how certain it's always different. Whatever. It's a fine show. And then they have this thing at the end where, near like later on, where they start talking about the Wizarding World way more. And at the first bit of the show, they never even go to the Wizarding World for the first I think they don't go to the Wizarding World for 3 or 4 seasons, or 2 or 3 seasons. But they reference it every so often. And they almost reference it like we're not able to go there, but we can bring things out of the Wizarding World, because in one episode they order, I don't remember what they called them. Were they elves, gnomes, gremlins? I don't know what they called them, but they were basically these things that could be experts in one thing, just experts in one thing. Right? Just one thing. Experts in one thing. And they were little people. So it was everything from dancing to singing to Spanish. So Alex uses it to pass her Spanish class, or to cheat her Spanish test. Anyway. So she could go on a date. Anyway. With Riley? Was that his name? Anyway. But they weren't allowed to go to the Wizarding World to get it, but they could almost essentially order them, right? They could acquire one of them by mail, or it's either by mail or by, because I think it's something to do with their wizard, because they had a wizarding portal, right? And everybody gets a wizarding portal with a wizarding lair. Oh no. Everybody has a wizarding, just a sec, wizarding lair. And it's just okay. And so I remember they're portal has a like a mail tube kind of thing, and it shoots you. So they like got it. They got kind of mailed to them. I don't know how it worked necessarily, or like they put the like it arrived or whatever. I don't know how it worked, but it was like a poof. I have to remember that. So I don't know. I thought maybe use a spell to get these things, but I don't know. I don't remember exactly. But yeah. What was I talking? What was the point of that one? Oh yeah, the contradiction of like never going to the Wizarding World, right? And so like so they never go to the Wizarding World, but then later, right? Later on in the show, it's like the biggest thing. It's all about the Wizarding World. And it's like, okay, maybe there's an evolution, but you make it seem like they're not allowed to go to the Wizarding World, or like we don't have the means to go to the Wizarding World in the earlier seasons. That's why you come. Not that they say that, or not that that's what it is, what happens, but they just come off as like, oh well, we're not allowed to go to the Wizarding World, or we don't have the means to go to the Wizarding World. And it's like, wait, what? Because eventually they make it just the biggest, easiest thing ever. Like, oh, you can go to the Wizarding World, yeah, all the time, yeah. And at the beginning, they make it seem like the Wizarding World and the human world never collide, in the fact that you'll never have things from that world come in here, and they're not necessarily allowed to be in here either, right? Right? And then later on, they just bring a whole bunch of things into the real world from the Wizarding World. That's just like, wait, but didn't you just say that the Wizarding World and the real world don't really collide ever? But again, in the original, but earlier they don't, like in the earlier seasons, they don't say that the Wizarding World never collides or is not allowed to collide. They just say it doesn't really happen. So they never make it like set in stone that, oh, they're not allowed or they never, ever collide. You know? No, they just kind of do this thing of like saying like, oh, well, the Wizarding World and the real world are separate things. They can come to each other, but they don't really usually. So, at least to be fair there. But they just make it so much, like, everything collides, you know? Like, it's a big, I don't know. Let's just max that out. Let me see what I can do with this one. Not a lot yet. Wait, is it the one where you can... I mean, hey, what are you gonna do, right? Oh, sorry. I don't know. Hey, what? You know, I don't really care. But again, because that's the thing. I didn't really care. Cause I was a kid and I didn't see the plot holes that too big. Like I didn't care much about the plot holes and the continuity of it. I was like, or consistency, continuity. Definition of continuity.
Here's the definition of continuity. The unbroken and consistent existence or operation of something over a period of time.
Yeah, the continuity of the show. I was just like, It was entertaining, and also as a kid, where I just watched things. I didn't analyze anything, series, necessarily, very much. Especially not those kind of series. And especially not at that age, and especially not that channel. I did not care. It was not something I cared about. I just wanted to watch, because, you know, every kid did that up until a certain point. They just turned on the TV and watched. They didn't care what it was. They did, you know, have likes and dislikes, but a lot of kids just did not care. They just watched whatever. And if they weren't stopped, they could watch till they're dead. Literally. Like, if nobody stopped them, if they didn't have parents to parent, you know, if their parents didn't parent, they would have watched till they're dead. Till they're literally dead. Like, I would have watched till I was like... So I had no brain left, sometimes, you know? I would have. I was like that. I was legitimately like that kid. That was it. Not... That's the worst. Yeah, I don't know. But, like, it was just... Yeah, oh yeah. Not that I didn't have any self-control, but... Like, and I liked every show, but it was very much like, oh yeah, you're going to. I could have watched till I was dead, legit, like literally till I was like dead. I'm not even joking, till I was dead. I talked about this before. My best friend was the same, so yeah, my best friend was the same, and we could have watched till we were literally dead, So because I was in the time of the peak of TV where everything was on all the time. There's so much to watch. There's all these channels of cartoons that were made specifically for cartoons that played 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, all the time. 3 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, 11 in the morning, 9 at night. You could turn it on and watch something. It was like there was never a time when, okay, the kids part of it. Oh no, it's done. It's over. It's done. Now it goes back to the adults, and so the kids go, okay, fine, it's over. Like, there's never, like, a set time, like, oh, Saturday morning cartoons. Only Saturday mornings, or only after school from this specific time, 3 to, I don't know, 6 or whatever. No. Or 7? No. It was all the time. So therefore, I just watched, because you could sit there, and because it was very quick and like, at you, it was always like, next show's up already and you don't even notice it. It's kind of like how we binge watch stuff. And the fact that before you know it, you've watched 17 episodes of some show. Or the whole series of a show and you're like, whoa. I just did what? Whoa, that's crazy. You don't even know, like, And while you're doing it, you don't even notice what you're doing. You're like, oh. Hi. Not that it's the worst thing you could do, but it's not healthy. Definitely not healthy. I watched an unhealthy amount of TV. I've said this before. I watched a disgusting amount of TV, like an unhealthy amount of TV as a kid. I did. Not that it's the worst thing I could have done, but it's bad. But anyway, so yeah. And I realized as an adult, I've realized when I got older that, like, oh my gosh, I watched so many shows that were just kind of crap. They were just kind of like, mediocre garbage. Just because I just wanted to watch TV. I didn't care what it was, I just wanted to watch TV. I think this is one of those games, I'm not sure, but I feel like it's one of those games where it'll just go on forever. And I could go on forever. Where there's no like, I feel like, see how they say that there's like 30? Yes, but there could be another like 3 that come up once you get rid of that one. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, so that was just one show that I watched and doesn't make sense. That didn't make sense. Now, some of the other shows made sense, just some of them were just terrible. Like, I remember watching Sweet Life of... Well, I watched Sweet Life on Deck before I watched Sweet Life of Zack and Cody again, right? Last year, and I just went... Sweet Life on Deck is so much better than Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. And really it was. I don't know, something about... Or at least I personally liked it better. I don't know if it was necessarily a better show. Most people remember and reminisce about Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and how that was a great show. One of the one of the classic masterpieces of Disney Channel. But then I'm like, I personally don't like it. I don't, compared to Sweet Life on Deck, where the Sweet Life on Deck had such a better everything, character development, show, pace, everything was just better in that show for some reason. Even though that show also was very much like with the Waverly Place in the fact that it was slow to start, like it was just really boring and slow to start, like yeah. But that show also had things where it was like kind of quick eventually, and then I don't know. But it was a better show than Sweet Life on Deck. Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Sweet Life on Deck was a better show than Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Yes. At least that's my opinion. You can whatever hate me all you want, but that's my opinion. So. That's just my opinion. No, not that the other show's bad. Not that Sweet Life of Zack and Cody is bad. Just I personally don't like it to the same extent. And then I also remember, okay, I thought I watched every episode. I could have skipped some episodes. I don't remember. Sorry, I don't know. I might have. I might not have I've watched all the episodes of Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. But then, and I think the Sweet Life on Deck did it too, where these episodes are banned episodes, or what do you call it? Are they banned? Is that what it's called? Or like, yeah, I think it's banned episodes. They took them off because they're either, there's some controversial thing in the episode that, is not PC, it's not politically correct anymore. Or it's not right to say anymore. You can't say that anymore. I'm like, some of them, when I've seen that with certain episodes of shows, I was like, what? What's wrong with that episode? And then other episodes, I'm like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Like, I look at it and I go, and this was censored episodes or removed episodes, banned episodes, because like, oh, yeah, okay. And then others where I'm like, I don't know about that. Like, it's a gray area. Should you be able to show it? I don't know. Anyway, like some, yes, I can tell, but others I'm like, what? Why? Anyway, but yeah. So I remember just like, and I remember finishing it and going, wait, I remember finishing Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and going, wait a sec. There were a couple of episodes that I remembered. Did I watch those episodes? And at first I thought, maybe these episodes were I missed. Like, maybe I just skipped these episodes, and I thought it was me. And then I looked into it, and I went, looked into it, and figured out, oh, these episodes there were certain episodes were banned. Oh. Because when they aired, I remember watching every episode. No, I don't remember if I watched every episode of Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, but I just remember watching 99% of them, 99.9% of them. I watched every episode of Sweet Life on Deck. I believe there might have been a few episodes that were banned, but there were not nearly as many as in Sweet Life on Zack and Cody, where there was a good like 5 or 6 episodes that were banned. Episodes. I think there's only like 1 or 2 in the in Sweet Life on Deck. Because I do remember ending Sweet Life on Deck it was ending Sweet Life with Zack and Cody, and then thinking, wait, were there banned episodes of Sweet Life on Deck? And then remembering going, yeah, I don't remember this episode or that episode. So, anyway. But that's the thing, okay? They're banned episodes for whatever reason, whether it was, some racially or, ethically wrong or morally wrong, whatever, right? Or legally wrong, whatever, right? So there's, there's some reason. But then you've got things like the racist, like movies, or the quote-unquote racist movies that Disney's like, or episodes of some shows that are like, oh, it's racist, right? They put the disclaimer, but they can put a disclaimer in front of that and say, this is actually racist, or this is whatever, sexist, racist, xenophobic, homophobic, Islamophobic, xenophobic, homophobic, anti-Semitic, racist, whatever, right? We don't like it, but hey, we have to show it in its original intent, like originally how it was aired. We're not gonna censor anything, kind of thing. But you do that on the show then? Wait, I don't know. I don't know if they did it on a lot of different shows. That were kind of racist or whatever, or kind of like controversial in some way. Certain episodes of certain shows, I don't know. I know they did it in certain other shows, but I don't know if Disney Plus did it. Let me just see if I can log into Disney Plus and see some. I look up some shows, and they're not even on Disney Plus. But again, I also realized that I never watched what was truly Disney. What was it, like true Disney or pure Disney, or like not pure. What's the word I'm looking for? That's like that was like fully just Disney. I watched Family Channel. Now, Family Channel was very close to Disney Channel. Disney Channel. It was pretty much Disney Channel. Disney Channel. It was slightly different. It had some shows Disney Channel. It had shows from Nickelodeon. It had shows from this, shows from that. Right? So. What was she talking about? Yeah. But yeah, I realized it's not exactly what it was. Not that it was bad per se, or it wasn't. Well, not that channel was any bad was bad, but it was just kind of not one. But it's just, and now I'm like, well, where am I supposed to find that now? You know, where am I supposed to find said show now? Then I realized I'm like, oh, because I was like so excited. Us. There. I was like, oh, I can find like, you know, I thought of maybe 2 or 3 of these. What? Whoa, yes. Yes. Oh, you suck. Yes. I'll watch this show and that show and it'll be great. And then I'm like, oh, wait a sec. And I looked into it. I'm like, oh, that show wasn't Disney. Oh, that show also wasn't Disney. Oh, that show wasn't Disney. Oh, that show wasn't Disney either. Because Family Channel was what... It was very closely connected with Disney Channel, but it wasn't directly Disney Channel in the sense that it wasn't just showing Disney Channel stuff. It was showing a lot of other things too. So it had a lot of Nickelodeon shows and just shows from other channels, and they got distribution rights to a lot of different shows. So I remember just being like, what? Being like, where's this? You know, when I found out, I'm like, what? Oh, now where am I supposed to find these shows? You suck. You honestly suck. What am I supposed to find? And I remember the shows specifically. I remember the one show. There are 2 shows. I just wanted to remember that show again. I like watch one of the shows again. I didn't really care to actually watch the whole thing. But there was one I was ready to watch, and it was Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. Well, there were 3 actually, and there was Zoe 101, but I didn't care for that one either. I kind of just wanted to see a bit of the show again. But Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. I remember loving that show. That show was one of my favorite show at one point as a kid. I don't know why I liked it so much, but I just loved it. Anyway, right? It was such a good show. I don't know. It wasn't even that great a show, actually, now I think about it. But it was just something, it was appealing to me in some way. I have no idea. And I remember watching a review of it, and somebody made the point, why did they stop the show? Why did they not just make a Ned's Declassified High School Survival Guide, right? Because School Survival Guide was a middle school. I still distinctly remember the intro to that show. In a middle school full of bullies, insane teachers, and gross school lunches, Ned Bigby, that's me, and my 2 best friends try to do the impossible. Create a guide to help you survive school. I remember that. I remember that distinctly. Oh, man. Yeah. What can I do? Wow. What I want to do. Auto blowers are done. Release marketing. This, maybe I can buy some. You know, it's a lot. Yeah, you know, I'll max that out. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, so that one is what I want to want, and a show called, I don't know if you ever got anybody knows of the show or remember the show. The show, The Next Step. It was like a dance reality show, which when I was watching it, thought was real, in the fact that I thought it was a reality show that was actually talking about real dancers. Like, I thought it was basically Dance Moms, but without the mom part, right? I thought they were, and then I learned, nope, that was all fictitious. And I was like, what? Oh, I don't even know why I was mad. I was just kind of like, I didn't really care. I was like, I was like, oh, no. And I went, wait, what do I care? I don't know. Maybe it's just the fact that it was. I believe that it was real. I don't know. Because they did the whole like mockumentary thing where, or they did the documentary thing where they sit in front of the camera and they just talk, But then I didn't realize it was a mockumentary one where it's like, oh. Because that's what they did in reality shows. They always would like talk to the camera. So I was like, oh, this is a real show. Okay, this is about real people. These dancers are real. And they was like, oh no, not at all. I thought the studio was real and everything was real. It was like, and it's like, nope, not at all. I was like, oh. At least, I don't know. Maybe there was a part of it that was real. Maybe it was based on a real studio somewhere. I don't know. But I just remember just being kind of like, not mad, but kind of like a little ticked off. I was like, oh, come on. Anyway, doesn't matter. That's not the point of this. And so those 3 shows were not Disney shows, apparently. So I was like, oh, they're not Disney shows, are they? I was like, nope, not at all. I was like, oh, now where am I supposed to watch it? And apparently you can watch some of the episodes are on Vimeo for the Classified Schools Survival Guide. And then there's just some shows that are just still not, and some movies that are still not on Disney Plus yet. I'm hoping they'll have everything with the name Disney. Anything that Disney produced. Whether it's Pixar, whether it's Disney Channel shows, whether it's Disney Channel original movies, whether it's movies that just have Disney in front of it, anything. Whether it's Marvel, Star Wars, just have everything that pre-existed. You don't have to ever make a new thing about any of this stuff, but you always have to give us everything that exists, right? At least that's my opinion, right? That's what I feel like they should. And they still don't have some of the movies and shows that I want to watch. And I'm like, that I clearly know was Disney. That I know for a fact was Disney. I'm just like, what? Like, one example was they don't have Make Mine Music. They have Melody Time, and they have Fun and Fancy Free, but they don't have Make Mine Music. And they have the Three Caballeros, and they have Los Amigos, and they have Fantasia, but they don't have Make Mine Music. I'm like, why? I've never seen Make Mine Music, and I just wanted to watch it one day, and I was like, can I watch it? Come on, can I watch it? And like, I was like, what? Anyway. I was like, whatever. There was that, and then there were some shows. I don't exactly remember what shows they were. Might have been like, Emperor's New Groove, or like Dave the Barbarian, maybe? I don't know, something like that. At least early 2000s Disney shows. And I'm like, oh, that's not here? Why? I mean, they were a little bit more obscure, the ones I was thinking of, I remember now. But I was like... And again, maybe those shows were not Disney. Could be. Could be. Maybe, but but some I knew were Disney, and I'm like, oh, they're not here. So, cause like, what's your frequency of bringing on new stuff? And why would you get rid of stuff on Disney Plus? You own all the stuff on Disney Plus. Just give me all the things that Disney's ever made. Which, okay, fine, maybe you can't hold all that in a server, but I mean, come on. I don't think it's like a bajillion petabytes. I don't think it's like a million, 56 or 100 or 1,000 petabytes, of data, of stuff. I mean, it's a lot, I'm sure, but you're Disney also. You have so much money. Just make that all available. Come on. Make it available and boom. We'll be good. But anyway, I've been going on for 2 hours and 5 minutes. I think I should be finished this now, so. Where's the sound? Mouse, master volume. Okay, so I think that'll be it for now, guys. I've been on for freaking 2 hours and 5 minutes. Let me get off now. So, I mean, this game was kind of a little whatever, boring. I think I don't know if I'll ever play this again. To be honest with you, it's kind of one of those boring games that kind of just. It's one of those time wasting games where there's no point, there's no real objective. You just kind of play when you have time to kill. But yeah, so again, links in the description. There's a Discord and the Patreon down in the description. You want to see better stuff on this channel?